You know, I'm just looking for Jimmy, you know, because, you know, it's Woodstock. All right. I want to see Jimi Hendrix.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, weren't you like 8 years old or something? Yeah. Were your parents bringing you there or something?
No, I ran away again.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking for Jimi Hendrix, right? Because I want to party. I mean, this is like 1969, right? Fucking flower children are going to die soon. It's all done. All this hippie shit is fucking done. Because we're going to get into rock and roll next, right?
Oh, it came back. Don't worry.
Well, no, hipsters don't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway. But their votes do. Their votes do. Their votes are very, very important.
Okay, so...
Because they're really important for fields.
Did you meet Jimmy?
I did. And so I'm looking to party, right? I've heard nothing but... you know, square deal about this dude. He likes to party. He's down. So I'm there. Yes, I'm 8 years old.
You're really into drugs.
He is as sober as a fucking lab rat.
Why was he sober?
I think lab rats are sober, right? Yeah. I don't know why he was sober, but he was just literally, he wasn't fucked up. I'm like, hey, man, you want to get high? He's like, "What's a little motherfucker like you were doing with the weed?" I'm like, "You want to get high or not?" He's like, "No, I don't want to fucking get high."
What was his excuse? Was it just like a sober day or something?
I'm too busy touching the sky, motherfucker.
Oh, he was on something.
No, he was sober, straight sober. He wouldn't party. He wouldn't have any of my whiskey, any of my beer. I even offered him some vitamin H. He said no.
Nice.
What's wrong with a little high C, man?
Nice.
So yeah, that was.
Well, that's good. That was a good story.
That was Woodstock at 8.
Woodstock at 8
Woodstock.
with a sober Jimi Hendrix.
The sober Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that's just crazy.
He's just having a sober day.
Sober Day.
Sober
That's
day.
a band name. And you'd sound like you were from Europe.
Sober day.
We are sober day. Sober day.
Sober day sounded like
Sober
you were
day.
from the Middle East.
No sober day.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal to make music
it depends if you fly. You know what? They just legalized movie theaters again. They haven't had movie theaters in over 30 years.
What the fuck is wrong with that country?
Well, they're, you've had the hardliners kind of running things, but it's crazy. You know, they over there in like Saudi Arabia, all this shit's illegal, right? Because it's impure. But these crazy motherfuckers can go out in their fucking Mercedes out in the desert and fucking do all that crazy, stupid fucking driving and killing each other, because we've seen videos.
Yep.
That's okay.
Well, they can also blow people up with bombs. That's okay.
Well, Saudi Arabia's, they don't so much,
don't worry
do
about it.
I need some dollars for this?
Yeah, it's one of those podcasts. Yeah.
I got a 3-headed shark. Can you see?
You do have a 3-headed
Hey,
shark.
how is my camera? Is it fine?
I think it's okay.
It's okay.
I mean, you're not on camera, which is probably good for the children. Yeah.
Burning love. But no, they the dude who's in charge, your mic, just a hair. That's what you do to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
See, I'm trying to help him.
Yeah.
I'm a helper, one who helps.
Yep. I think we're good.
So, you sound better too. A little more rich.
It's because I'm talking right into the thing.
Thick and rich.
Real rich. I'll show you thick and rich. Yeah.
Thick and rich. But I think that's cool because it'd be interesting to see what kind of movies. Because I love Bollywood.
Oh
Bollywood
my God!
movies
Yes,
are fucking the
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah.
But then I've never seen any like Saudi Arabian movies.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna really find out more about the culture, right?
Yeah. So will that be Saudiwood?
You fucking
fucking
get that
heard
shit
it.
online. Get that shit
Saudiwood.
online. Yeah, absolutely. You need to
Saudiwood.
tweet that now.
Yeah, we're there.
Sollywood. Yes.
Saudiwood.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yep.
And it not something that a camel sees every day anymore.
What?
Saudiwood.
Oh, I see what you did there. Slow.
It's a double entendre.
Wow, so you're saying they're camel fucking. Is that what you
Camel.
say there? They fuck camels in that country?
You a camel fucker? You like fucking camels, huh? Are you a camel head fucker? You fucking camel head fucker.
That's some good insults you're throwing their way, man. That's really going to slow them down.
Where do you think Sarah Silverman came up with the whole baby head fucker in Way of the Gun?
I have no idea. I don't think that was scripted. I think they just kind of let her do whatever the fuck she wanted to do.
I think that they just let both of them just go for it. Just fucking, because that was Ryan Phillip and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, the other guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what's her name?
Sarah Silverman.
I always want to call her Amy Winehouse because the two kind of
Black hair.
and pale skin,
Yep.
kind of the same height, right? So that you just stylize that.
One controlled a drug and drinking habit, I think, more than the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Okay, so enough about Saudiwood. That's good. Okay, if you're listening.
No, Sollywood. Yeah.
No, Saudiwood.
I'm sorry.
Saudiwood.
Yeah.
Saudiwood. It's very easy to say.
Okay.
That's how the Indian people
that was
pronounce
India.
it.
I was going to say, that's the wrong fucking country.
Saudiwood. That's better.
It's too bad.
Saudiwood Aziz. Saudiwood. Because that's the sound that the terrorists talked like in
The terrorists?
True Lies.
Oh, because we should gauge.
Battery Aziz. Battery.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Remember that?
I do
I
remember
don't
that.
know why that just sticks in my head.
Well, you love the fuck out of True Lies.
True Lies.
You've seen that so many
That
times.
fucking torture scene is probably Arnold's best scene ever. Ow. How long have you been a spy, Harry?
Yeah. When everything slowed down for him. Yeah.
18 years. Did you ever kill anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad. But just the way he fucking...
Yeah.
Do you know
they
there
were
was...
all bad.
You know, he there's one part where the interrogator comes back, and he looks in his eyes and he says, I'm going to escape. And, oh, how are you going to do that? But then he's like, first, I thought I would use you as a human shield, and then I would take that Patterson troke right there and throw it into the eye of that guy over there. And then I was thinking about snapping your neck. Now,
of course he did it.
This is how geeky I am. I looked for years trying to figure out exactly what he was fucking saying there, because on the web, what the fuck is a Patterson trope?
Yeah, what is a Patterson trope?
I don't know yet.
Trope, Trope?
I don't know. I've played it and played it and played it and played it. I've looked at the script and looked at the script, and I haven't done this in like about 5-6 years. But at the time, it was very difficult to find that information. But either way,
you can't find this, really.
I haven't looked. Well, I haven't looked in like 5-6 years. Probably closer to 10, because usually when I say 5-6, it usually means 10.
You just let the fucking mystery slip through your hands, your fingers.
Dude, I'm solving mysteries every second.
But this is a big one. This is a really big one. You love to quote movie lines, and you don't know how to quote this one.
As long as I say Patterson trope.
So what did he throw? What was it?
It looks like just a, you know that one molar remover that I got? Not the T-shaped one, but it's just kind of a thick-handled one, and it's just got like it's just got a little stem that comes out with like a little spoon. It kind of looks like that, only
is it like a pliers with?
Nope, it's just like it's like a screwdriver, a solid screwdriver, except it's got a point at a really sharp point, and it's kind of like you've seen like a pick, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like, or an awl. Kind of like an awl.
I don't know an awl.
An awl is a metal, it's like a engraver tool.
Okay.
Or you can like punch holes in leather with it, or...
Oh, I've seen that. I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's a bit thick metal handle, though, so it's just like...
I wonder if Arnold didn't know what it was. He just kind of like... And then...
Cameron directed that.
Oh,
he does not allow anybody to not know what something is.
That's true. Cameron, really? I never knew that.
Oh, Cameron's very intense.
No,
yeah.
I never knew he directed True Lies.
Yeah.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, you should read, if you want some interesting reading on a director and someone who's really into the method, Cameron has been known to do upwards of 75 to 100 takes on a particular scene, and not necessarily an easy one. He'll take complicated scenes where they have to reset a bunch of fucking shit. And
just to get it right.
Over and over and over, yeah. Like, what's her name? Shit. What was that fucking movie? Cameron did it. Oh, come on.
Like a modern one?
Yeah, where they're in the little submersible, like 30,000 feet down, and they find aliens down there. And
Abyss?
The Abyss,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
When they were making The Abyss, Mary Mastrantonio, she was the female love interest lead in that one. She talked about how just intense it was, and how just Cameron is just a fucking driver, and if something didn't sound right, do it again. Do it again.
Wow.
Do it again. To where it's like by the time that movie's over, you'll know those lines for the rest of your fucking life. Sigourney Weaver said the same thing. She said it was very intense, but she said if she had to choose one director to work under, she'd work under Cameron.
Perfectionist, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he did T2, right? He did, Avatar.
Titanic.
He did Titanic. He's done a lot of movies. He's doing the next Avatar. Yeah. He's been in a lot of big movies.
Honestly, I'm surprised they're making another one of those.
Well, it made so much money.
I didn't think it was that good, though.
Well, it wasn't.
I mean, all it was is either it was Pocahontas or Pocahontas was it.
The story to me was very Dances with Wolves or something like that. There's
and
a lot of stories
it's the same
told like that.
Formula.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't about the story for me. That was the first movie that I saw in 3D where I said, this is the only way to see this. I wasn't that long ago. Whenever it came out, I think I saw it within a week of when it came out.
I think it came out, about 10 years ago?
Something like that, yeah. But that movie in 3D was absolutely insane. Wow. And I still haven't seen one keep up with it. And it's 10 fucking years ago. Yeah.
That's a bold move.
Yep. It was just the way he did it. He shot that with his perfectionist attitude. It all makes sense now. Because it was not gimmicky 3D like a lot of these movies, where it's only in certain scenes, and it was...
Yeah.
The way he shot it was the 3D wasn't just there to be a little bit of icing. It was actually a part of it, and it didn't make you feel sick. So,
yes, was good. I haven't seen it, but I know what you mean when you get good 3D to where it's like it feels like it's where it belongs.
I have no idea how it holds up, but I'm sure it's still good. I mean, it was for its time. It was really well done CG. You know,
I wonder how long it'll be before we actually get 3D movies, because I mean real 3D movies. Like you see what they're doing with like some of the holographic shit that you can buy nowadays.
Yeah,
to where it's just like when you look at it, it's just 3 pieces of glass, but when it shines those images on it as it rotates, it's like, holy fuck, it looks whole.
Yeah, it does.
So that's kind of cool. So how long before they you go to a theater and it's all these seats around these 3 panes of glass?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it'll eventually happen. I mean,
where you could be all the way around it.
If they can get the fidelity to look like the silver screen.
Oh, of course. That might take another 20 years.
That's the problem with 3D and VR and stuff like that. The fidelity just isn't quite there yet. They are starting to do movies with VR in mind. I'm curious how that will work.
That is an interesting
Think about
question.
that. If the user controls the camera, what that would mean for your movie.
Well,
because it's an Omni camera at that point.
Right. So your camera would be, but you would already be. Yeah, that would be some tricky fucking film.
But as a director, like, you would basically have to set that Omni camera up, and then everybody leaves, or you'd have to rotoscope everybody out, which would be fucking insane to do that, right? And it would also be, you couldn't get that perfect shot under the perfect angle because you get all angles, all shots, all the time.
Well, as long as everybody's out, you could just green screen the fuck out of it.
Yep, that's true.
Call it a day.
Yep, I'm sure there's a lot of that. We'll see. We'll see if it's done. I'm not
Sleeping
sure.
cat.
Sleeping cat in the background. Yeah. So we have some topics to get to. And
we have topics. We're trying topics, not really full on
discussions,
but just topic-y.
So I'd say the topic of the day today is Alabama elected a Democratic Senate
Jones is in office.
Member. Yeah, which is insane.
That was crazy because
faith restored.
All in all, I had no idea how it was going to go.
I really thought they'd vote more in. I really.
I think I was leaning that way initially. Yeah, just because I just thought we were going to get fucked. Yeah. Now, I know it sounds weird because I don't live in Alabama, but you know what? This was one of those situations when I really didn't care who got elected as long as it wasn't him.
We should probably preface this for the people living under rocks, which there's a high probability of people living under a rock watching this. Roy Moore.
The under rock livers, are they listening to our show?
I would say so.
Is that
ham radio?
Ham radio?
Like ham
radio.
Yeah. Roy Moore was a senator from Alabama. Whatever. Somebody from Alabama. He had some. I don't think he was a senator, right?
Yeah.
He was?
Roy Moore? Or Jones?
Well, Roy Moore, they're fighting over this position because Jeff Sessions got his seat vacated because he's the attorney general now. So I don't know what Roy Moore was before this, but I think he was a representative somehow.
No, he was a senator.
Then how is he?
Or maybe not. No,
I don't think
he's running for Senate.
Exactly. So both of these guys are trying to get that vacated seat. Anyway, Roy Moore has numerous allegations from youngsters against him.
From like
14-year-olds and 15-year-olds.
Well, that was 40 years ago.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
I want to make a note towards the end of the show.
Okay. Anyway, he looks like he was a pedophile for many years of his life.
Stop. I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay, he looks like he was a kitty toucher.
I need to spread some umbrage.
Okay, you think it has to be children, like children to be a pedophile.
Because when you say pedophile, that's a derivative response. Because that's what we've been hearing, right? Hearing pedophile. He now, granted, he dated underage chicks, and he probably got laid a bit with some underage chicks, and that's predatory. And
what would that be? What would
that
you
is
label
also
that
statutory rape.
Yep.
But it's not pedophilia. Pedophilia is with younger children, like preteen.
Doesn't make it any better.
No. Just because and the only reason I'm going off on this is because I'm watching. Even my favorite Seth Meyers used the term pedophile. The news is using the term pedophile. Michelle used the term pedophile today, and I'm just like, stop. This is not pedophilia, because what happens if it muddies the water that much? Then the next time you get a 19-year-old who's dating a 17-year-old,
technically that's pedophilia,
and then that's going to be pedophilia.
What's the definition of pedophilia?
I will look that up because I'm smart.
I'm just curious what the definition of pedophilia is. Either way, he's let's just call it sexual misconduct.
He's a pig. He's a fucking pig that should be jettisoned from the planet. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, I could see your point where pedophilia could be more like infant. Why don't you just do this? How about pedophilia and infant pedophilia?
Where do you draw the line?
I'm asking you that right now. You're the one saying we can't say pedophile for somebody who is 35 or 40 fucking 15-year-olds.
Right, but that's predatory. He's a fucking predator.
I would agree. Yeah.
You know, I and personally, in some cases, I think that might be worse than a pedophile, because a pedophile, oftentimes, and you're rarely going to hear me fucking say this, and I'm not defending pedophilia in any way, shape, or form.
No, I'm not taking it like that. Absolutely not.
But oftentimes, that is sporadic, or boom, it just happens.
Yep.
A fucking predator. They tail their prey. They follow them. They stalk them.
Gotcha.
And that's almost worse, because that's ongoing, especially if they know about it and they're trying to just get on with their fucking life.
Well, S.A. John came in with something here. Attracted to prepubescent children. That must be the definition of pedophilia.
There you go.
So there you go. You're absolutely right on the money, not only semantically but pure definition. We shouldn't be calling him a pedophile.
No, because I think it presents potential injustice down the road.
So the label we should make for him is
fucking predator.
Well, sexual predator?
Yes.
Or should we call him, because sexual predator can be, you can be a sexual predator for somebody your own age.
Let's just bring it out, a sexual predator of underage girls.
There we go. All right.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So and there's numerous counts. And not only that, but he has a record of, like, he got kicked out of a mall. There's some other thing where
Gadsden Mall?
The Gadsden Mall.
Gadsden Mall.
Green Apples, yes. And there was something else he did where people are kind of like, geez, this guy's kind of a loose cannon. I mean, he did say something to it was a father. Father was showing a picture of his daughter. His daughter happened to be gay. And he made a comment of something about how she should seek mental health or something like that, or a mental health specialist because she's sick. And just,
I didn't know about that.
What the fuck? Like,
gotta like his wife, though.
His wife?
His wife, yeah. Roy Moore's wife.
Oh.
Yeah, at a rally yesterday.
Well, he would still be considered a pedophile. That's true. Prepubescent children.
But they weren't prepubescent. I thought they were 15, 16.
Well, it could be different. I mean, not everybody goes through puberty in the same time.
13 is usually
right?
That's hence the term teen.
Were they all or post-13?
I believe so. I haven't heard of anyone below 13. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making an issue.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Oh, shit. What was I saying?
Oh, shit. I don't even know. I don't know. We'll just continue and see if it comes back to you. So, his wife. His wife, yeah.
They were at a rally yesterday, and she goes, people are saying we're bigots, that we don't like Jews. One of our lawyers is a Jew. It's like, and the way she said it, dude, she's like, she had the mic, and she's like, one of our lawyers is a Jew. And she just got right on the mic, and eyes all fucking Tammy Faye Bakered and shit.
That's common for non-African Americans to say, I use the N-word in their first defenses. I have a friend who's black.
I have a friend who's black.
I'm like, okay. Like, no, he said no, he is still considered a pedophile. Yeah. So, by definition, apparently he's still considered a pedophile.
But they're not prepubescent teens.
I don't know.
I'm not defending the guy, so you know what? Either way,
it's wordplay. Yeah. He's still a scumbag.
Well, how about this?
Scumbag.
I don't like it.
So I think the reason you bring that up is because obviously all of being with underage people is wrong, but it's worse if it's prepubescent, in my opinion. In my eyes, it is a worse crime if it's prepubescent.
Yeah, and the lower you go, it just compounds that.
Well, infant pedophilia is you are the worst of the worst, and death and actually suffering is what you should have.
Like fed to lions? No.
That's the Christians.
Fed to honey badgers.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, could you imagine getting dropped in a fucking big old pit of fucking 100 honey badgers?
None of them would care.
They wouldn't give a fuck, but you would.
Of course you would. They'd kick the shit out of you and rip you to pieces.
Yeah, rip you to pieces, eat you.
Yeah.
They don't that now. That's what I mean. You got it. All vying for a piece. Just give me a piece. Let me taste that boy.
Were you surprised? Were you surprised that Roy Moore didn't win? Because knowing all of this,
you know what? I wasn't shocked, but I was slightly. I was pleasantly surprised.
Me too. Faith in humanity restored, but I'll tell you what, just a little bit of me is like, what the fuck? It still came down to a very close vote. This guy was numerous counts.
Do they do a popular vote with this?
I don't know exactly how it works, but
I don't want to hear that shit.
But he wouldn't concede. I don't think he has yet. I think they want to recount, but it's not close enough to be recountable.
Yeah, it has to be below
0.05%? Something like that. Yeah, it has to be closer than it currently is, and all the votes are tallied in. So it's pretty nuts. And is this the first time ever Alabama has voted in a Democrat?
It's a rarity. There's nothing rarity.
Else. Yeah, very rare. I don't think they voted a Democrat in the past, was it 15 to 20 fucking elections?
Possibly. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not that in tune.
That's crazy. Well, it's good, though. I mean, I was making the mistake of going on to Twitter to see the comments and stuff as it was going on. And I just went in there down the center, and I wanted to just hear what both sides were saying. And it was a lot of...
So are you looking at replies as well, or just tweets?
No, just people who did the hashtag Alabama vote or whatever it was.
Okay, got it.
And it was people either saying people can't vote for a pedophile, right, or a sexual predator or whatever. And the other people on the other side is like, well, we can't vote for a baby killer. So abortion to them was higher up on the totem pole than somebody who's preying on children.
Yeah, it's kind of, let's save the children.
Yeah.
So he can molest them.
Here's the fucked up part that a lot of these people are missing the point. Whether abortion is actually technically killing a baby or whether it's just, I'll use Louis C.K., it's one of these two things. It's either taking a shit or it's killing a baby. It's one of those two things, right? We either view it as it's not killing a baby or we view it as it's killing a baby. But what is that thing that comes out? Or... You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's
either taking a shit or it's killing a baby, but that's not the fucking point. The point is it's up to the woman to decide whether it's one or the other. It's not up to all these fucking people.
The thing is, the people who are barking the loudest about, let's say, abortion, because I think it should just be a woman's right. It's a private thing, whatever they want to do. I don't think it's everybody's business. But if you look at the people who are screaming the loudest, to ban abortion, they're the ones who'd scream louder if they were told they couldn't do this or they couldn't do that. If you put a number of their rights in a jar and said you can't have that and put it up on the fridge.
Well, look at gun rights.
You know what
I mean?
Take that away.
Fucking Jesus, man. It's like I own guns.
Whoa, what are we doing?
We're not fucking Jesus.
Thank God.
Yeah. He's from the Middle East. We don't know what's going on.
Crazy.
From the Middle East back in the day. You know what I mean?
Well, I believe that would be Eritrea in Africa. That's the breadbasket of humanity.
There you go.
That's what they propose. There's some pretty cool stuff on the island of Eritrea. This is called the Digression. They're called umbrella or dragon's blood trees. Huh. And they're these trees, and they have these really cool tops, and they look like umbrellas, but they're huge, but they're just really dense branches and foliage in there, right? But then when you cut the tree, it bleeds this really thick sap that's literally blood red.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's this island?
Eritrea, yeah, one of the islands out on Eritrea, and there are particular flora and fauna on this island that you don't see anywhere else. So they're very picky about what they let onto the island. But I'm willing to bet that things over there can kind of slip every once in a while because of unrest and chaos.
Yeah. Huh. Crazy. Never knew.
So sorry for that little.
No. The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's really polarizing. It was crazy to see both sides.
It's crazy to see how fanatical people,
Yeah, but those were the two things they were most fanatical about. This guy's a pedophile. This guy kills babies. Those were the two things I saw over and over and over again. It was crazy. And I read through hundreds.
As a postmortem to that, Trump's response was typical.
Yeah,
but at the same time disappointing.
No, he basically said, I told you he wouldn't win.
I told you he wouldn't win, where he's saying he will win, even though he was doing so many ethics violations by trumping for a candidate. Wait. Is it he can he do that, but nobody in his staff can?
I have
as
no
president?
idea.
Well, I know that Conway can't because they're getting on her shit about that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
they're getting her for, well, they're saying that she should be brought up on ethics violations.
it's surprising that they don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they don't know.
It's very true.
That's what Rumsfeld says.
I've heard that before. It works sometimes, but when you're appointed to the highest level of our political tree, you probably shouldn't say things like that. I don't know. I don't care what party you're in. If you're dumb, you're dumb. So,
well,
yeah.
I just remember when Rumsfeld said that. Something about the
camera. Oh.
the unknowns being unknown to us.
Yeah.
No, that's not on camera.
No. What? Where do you get this stuff? Like, why do you randomly?
It happens.
It does.
I don't question it.
He showed me a picture of like this hockey stick, and it was going in a sock. I'm like, what? Why do you even have that?
Yeah. Hockey stick in a sock.
Oh fuck.
It could have been like that to give it a little help, just
Yeah.
push right here.
So,
Have we given Roy Moore enough?
I don't know. I think
15
so.
minutes?
I think we have. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
What do you think's
more.
next one in line for him? You think he's done?
Yeah, I think he's done, and I think his party will abandon him. Which, fuck him. If those allegations are true, which who knows, they might be.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are because especially the way people have come out to, some of his spokespeople have come out to talk for him, and he could use some better spokespeople.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
What was the Bible one? Remember that?
Oh my God! So they brought this guy on with the Jake Tapper or something like that, and
I love
this guy
Jake
was
Tapper.
a good
I don't
old.
give a fuck what you
He
say.
was a good old Southern boy, and they were saying he was saying basically that Muslims should not be allowed to be elected officials
because they won't swear on the Bible.
They won't swear on the Bible. You got to swear on the Bible, and the guy in CNN's like, no, you don't. You get to pick your religious book. You don't have to swear on the Bible. He's like, well, I swore on the Bible, and so did he. I'm like, well, that doesn't mean because you guys are Christians. Well, Trump swore on the Bible. Like, well, he's a Christian, supposedly, so he swears on the Bible.
But you don't have to.
If a Muslim they can swear on whatever book they want.
They can
swear on the Quran.
Yeah.
And he just like
that look in his face.
He had dead air. He's a mouth breather. He couldn't breathe out of his fucking nose to save his life. Watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious to see.
It's just this guy's not the brightest bulb.
I like just some of the shit Jake Tapper. It doesn't matter what kind of whether Fox, NBC, or whatever. Yeah. He just sometimes people will say stuff, and he will his nonverbal cues are awesome because it's like, what?
Yeah. He can't contain it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it should be.
Agreed. So we've been beating up on the right a little bit. Let's beat up on the left a little bit. And this is a topic I didn't bring up with you beforehand, but we'll talk about it now. So I've talked to you a little bit about Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
And you don't know much about him, whatever. He's a professor in Toronto, philosophy, sociology, I think. It's something, he studies behavior, human behavioral and stuff. So he got caught up in a wild mess because he refused to use gender-specific pronouns. Okay?
That's right.
This is what he's known for. This is not what he's about.
Right.
I just want to get into this. So the gist of it is this. He's noticing that a lot of colleges in Canada, and this is in the United States as well. In fact, we just saw it with somebody by the name, I think her name is Lindsay Shepard. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard a story about Lindsay Shepard. Well, basically what it was is she had brought her class a speech that Jordan Peterson gave on the pronouns and how it's dangerous what we're doing here because laws are being passed that are not allowing us to use certain speech. They're telling us we have to use pronouns or we can't call a transsexual their new identity gender. So, for instance, there's laws being passed that is becoming a human rights violation. This is starting in Canada.
What do we refer to them as?
So they want, there's a bunch of pronouns. Oh, I should have looked this up ahead of time. It's kind of fucking comical, but XUR, so jur or jim or something like that, when they're in transition. Yep.
Because of the X.
Well, they're currently in transition or something. They
Yeah,
don't want
the
to
X, that's a crossover.
Yep. They don't want to be called him or her. And I'm saying they, and
So
don't fucking get offended. They, because I'm just grouping everything up.
Right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
XM.
So this Lindsay Shepherd, this young girl, showed this speech of Peterson just coming out, listen, I'm not going to use your pronouns because you're making free speech technically illegal. And you have to be careful with this because wrapped up in these college laws and stuff now, they're wrapping it in. If people want you to call them a potato, you have to legally do it now on a campus. Otherwise, it can be a hate crime. That's basically what they're wrapping in because they don't want to offend anybody.
I wish somebody would ask me to call them potato.
Okay, I'm just making that up.
No, I like that one.
So she showed this to her student body at another school in Canada. Came in and said, I'm not on either side of this. I just want you to see this because this is the different way of thinking. It seems like Jordan Peterson's being a bigot, but he's not. Like,
right.
If you look at it and actually look at what he's saying, it's...
Don't Leviticize it.
Yeah, exactly. So she showed this. She got pulled into her office, in the campus, where three of the top people,
the dean dudes,
on the whatever
college board,
yep,
dean thing,
were fucking just absolutely maiming her. They brought her to tears or whatever, and she recorded all of it on her phone. She realized that when she got called in, and they said like a human rights person was going to be on campus, that she was, holy fuck, here we go. She had no idea it was going to go this far, but she knew what it was about.
So she recorded it.
Yep. So she recorded it. It got out there, and everyone was just like, what the fuck? Because they basically said that her taking no stance was wrong.
Oh, so they didn't have a problem with her playing it.
Oh, no. They had a major problem with it because they see that as being transphobic.
No, you know what they see that as? No, it's not transphobic.
That's a PR nightmare.
They see it as interfering with their curriculum and their methods of shaping the minds of the students who come to their school.
And this is a really far left view, right? So we talked about the far right. This is a really far left view. If you think one side sucks and the other side doesn't, guess what? This is what's coming down the line. If you don't use pronouns, and again, they're passing stuff here to make this not a hate crime, but you will get talked to and reprimanded on college campuses if you don't use certain pronouns. Now, it's not just about transphobia. The problem here has nothing to do with transsexuals, sexual orientation, any of that shit. The problem is they're attacking free speech at this point. We're afraid to offend everybody, so you must use these words. You can't use these words. That's not okay. That's a slippery fucking slope.
That's a very slippery slope.
So, I mean, I don't recall ever having seen this before. Have you in your life ever seen anything like this?
No, in fact, it's almost the opposite of like xenophobia. It feels like.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
It is crazy stuff. But college campuses have been doing stuff like this for a while. You know, I mean, it's very, you know, you get some of the stuff that's so ultra liberal to where the colleges have little safe rooms you can go in.
Those exist now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know. They have that you can go in to where you don't have to hear this or you don't have to hear that. You know, they actually had safe rooms that kids could go into that they didn't have to hear the word Trump. I swear to God, that's not made up.
No, I remember seeing that. I thought it was The Onion, but no, apparently it's not.
But no, there's some. Yeah, I don't understand. Remember that episode of Star Trek where Riker and another away team went down to this planet, but they lost contact with him. And then, so Picard and the dudes send a rescue ship down there to him. And then you find out that Riker is in jail. There's this one scientist who's kind of trying to help, but it's a real rigid society. It's very fascist almost. And,
okay.
But then you find out that that they've been lying about this, but they have Riker and he's unconscious. But you have the leader of these people, and then you have his number one, as it were.
Sure, number one.
But this number one is very xenophobic about he doesn't want to introduce any other cultures into their culture because he thinks it's going to affect, and he's very, very, and so it's so bad. And they asked the scientist, can you keep this shit quiet that these people came to our planet? And she's like, no, man, I can't keep this quiet. She goes, so either fucking kill me, let me go, or let me go with them.
Yeah.
So she ends up going with the Enterprise, and they take Riker, and then they just kind of leave them in their own little microcosm.
Yeah.
But that's what that kind of reminds me of, that thinking on the colleges. It's like you're fucking with our way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, some colleges, like, you go to a state college, blah, blah, blah. You're really not dealing with as much, some state colleges. Like when I went to Weber State out in Utah, they didn't really push any ideology or anything. It's like, hey, you want to come here and learn? What do you want to learn?
Well, this was back in the day. It was different.
Do you really think it's pervasive?
This was Toronto, like the University of Toronto was one of these.
They're Canadians.
I agree, but this is happening all over the United States.
They're Americans.
Weren't you in Utah? I'm confused here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They were humans. Like, what?
Human? No, they were human.
I just think there's a problem with telling people. It's one thing to say you ought to use these words, and it's another thing completely to say you can't use these words anymore.
I think we're getting into an Orwellian stage of our.
We're there.
No, I think we're. Well, yeah, we might be in the fringe of it, but I think we have a ways to go before we actually get to the worst of it.
Yeah, we're in the bubble, definitely.
And I would not be surprised to see something like this get worse before it gets better. Especially with because you got all this stuff going on in the schools, right? So you got these schools of thought, and then you got all the stuff going on in Washington D.C.
Yep.
And you're just like, okay, once those two meet, once those two meet, that's when you're going to get the peak. Once politics and schooling actually, once those two ideals come together, it's going to be ugly for a while. Could be 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah. So, hey, kids.
Absolutely.
You guys that are having kids, your kids are going to be fucked in a few years, but they'll make it through. They got to persevere. They got to muscle through.
This reminds me of Christopher Hitchens, something I saw on some old footage of Christopher Hitchens. He's he debated all the time. He attacked religion toward the end of his career more, but he had really good debates with all the different religions. And toward the end,
he was such a fucking awesome debater, orator.
And he was kind of mean too. Like he was smart about it, right? He wasn't like stabbing, but he would make all these comments that were obviously backhanded, but sometimes they would go over the top of the person he was debating because he was very smart. Well, toward the end, he used to attack like all the religions, right? Christianity, but he saw the one that needed attacking the most and debating the most was Islam, because they chose to be. Islam is scary to him, or was. He's dead now, but because they recognize all the other world religions, but their religion says, okay, we recognize those, but this is the one true final solution. And the last time I heard final solution was Hitler, right? Yeah. So that's a scary thought. He attacked that religion more than the others. Way back, I want to say 90s, he coined the term Islamophobia.
That was him?
No, that's the first time I had ever heard it. I don't know if he ever coined it, but he was the one who, guess what? This is coming. It's soon going to not be okay to speak out against certain religions. And look at it now. If you speak out against Islam and use one wrong word, you're now Islamophobic, right? This trans thing that he got wrapped up in is kind of something very similar. We're not talking about being against the transsexuals, LGBT community or whatever. It's a free speech thing. We should be able to talk and criticize anything, and it should not be illegal, or you should not be beaten into the ground legally.
I don't see the need for the touchy-feely
kind of
response with people. Yeah. I mean, it's like, because what we're doing, but you know what? I'm sorry, man. I blame the fucking baby boomers for this.
Yeah.
Because the generation for the baby boomers, they beat their kids like their kids should be beat. Now, some of them went a little overboard. I ain't saying like beat your fucking kid, but kids need discipline. Once you start just giving them timeouts and hugs and participation medals, nice. Well, then you end up with what we're getting now.
So, that's the old sensibility. There needs to be some form of discipline, whether that's spanking them.
You need a hardening of the attitude.
Wow. I like this. You're going real deep south with this one.
Yeah. But no, I mean,
get the Board of Education.
You haven't had your ass whooped until you've had to walk out to the fucking tree and find the switch they're going to use on you.
Yep. And you had to decide the weapon of choice that you're going to get hit with.
And you're warned. Yeah. And don't get something small, because I'll go out there and get a fucking branch.
I was never hit with switches or anything.
Switches.
I was spanked. I was. My dad's favorite thing was to grab the top of my head and give it a little squeeze. That was painful enough for me to realize I was being an idiot. So,
I got the belt. I got the buckle. Hold on.
You got everything.
I got everything.
Yeah.
But you know what the worst belt was? The worst fucking belt to get a whooping with. Fucking Boy Scout belt, man.
It's almost like a rope belt?
Yeah, it's like a rope belt, but it's got a little metal end on it. You got the buckle, but then you got a little metal tip.
You fucker used the metal tip?
I don't know if he used a tip, but he'd fold it. He just used the belt, but there was something about that material, man. That you could fucking beat me with leather all day, man. That fucking Boy Scout, but you kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Man. I don't want that one.
No shit.
But so there's that, but then getting your ass whooped with a switch, because there's usually chaos involved during the ass whooping.
Sure.
Because you're usually getting an arm pulled out of socket at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, but those switches, or what was worse was when my fucking grandma would just reach up and just whoosh, grab a fucking, we were being dicks.
Lock of hair.
She just reach up and grab a branch off the tree and just, wow, come here.
Yep. But see, here's the important part. And actually, I've heard you say this numerous times, and you're the only one I've ever heard say this. Okay, so striking your kid to teach them discipline is okay, but the key that somehow you learned was
you have to meet it out without anger.
Anger.
You have to. Sometimes you have to wait like a half hour, so you like cool your jets and shit. So when you go in there, it's like, all right, man, you fucked up. You know ahead of time you're going to give them 3 swats, 5 swats. 50.
And you
whatever.
mean your anger, right? Like you have to get your emotion out of it.
Yeah, you get your shit in check so that when you go and you meet out that punishment, you're meeting it out in a way that's just. It's like, okay, this is what you did. This is what has to happen. This is what I'm hoping doesn't happen again.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do this many, this many.
Mm-hmm.
Or the worst was when you'd be pick a number between 1 and 5. Go low, I dare you.
Oh my God.
3.
Right in the middle. Nicely done.
That's good work.
Good. Wow.
Right.
So that actually transitioned us to a topic you want to talk about here: embracing life's miseries.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is a good segue.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this at lunch a little bit, and I think life would be easier for a lot of fucking people if they would just accept, not so much accept your lot, but accept what has happened to you as you're moving through. Once you're not there anymore and you're here moving that way forward, whatever happened, you can't dwell on it. It's already happened.
But
So-
it will come back in your psyche every once in a while, make you sad, make you down, and that's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because you can't. You got to embrace it. You can't fix it. Don't ever
It won't be fixed.
fix it. It's not going to be fixed, or I'm dealing with it. It's like, I understand dealing with it, and you get to deal with it for this much. Okay, you've dealt with it now. Now, of course, there's some heinous things that can happen to where you might need to deal with it that much. We'll allow that. But for the most part, you're past everything, all that fun or bad shit that's happened to you. You got to embrace it. You got to accept that it happened. It's a bad brick in your wall, as I called it, and you move on. You have to. Otherwise,
I think going to a shrink and talking to somebody is important but they're not going to say this is going to fix it.
No.
A good shrink will tell you we're going to learn to live with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, and some shrinks might not be able to help you. I know with all the shit that happened to me as a kid,
Yeah.
I went to a lot of shrinks.
What age were you talking here?
Probably 21, 23, 25.
Was that like the first time you had talked about all the shit that happened to you to somebody?
31. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
31. I probably saw each of them maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's just like,
Not
I get
working.
more to jerking off.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. No, I get it.
So it's, yeah, but that was me because I'm very meta to begin with. So I'm always in my head one way or another.
You're dealing with your shit outwardly all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
you're kind of an emitter of...
Yeah, an emitter.
No, like you are.
No,
You're
no,
kind of
yeah.
an emitter of all the things. If there's something shitty going on in your life, it's out to deal with
Yeah.
right
I don't,
away
I don't
anyway.
really.
Yeah. You don't hide from anything.
You're right.
really.
I really don't. I just kind of.
No.
Like the time I accidentally sent a text to the wrong person.
This was a work-related text, and it was about this person. It was supposed to be sent to this person's boss about how shitty this person was at their job.
My boss.
It was supposed to be sent to your boss about this person.
And inadvertently, I sent it to the person I was talking about.
And your reaction was great because I was there with you because we were, working at the network operations center, and you look at it and you go, "Fuck, all right, I'll deal with it." Like it was that
happened.
That's what it was.
That just happened.
That happened. And like I asked you, like I sent it to him by an accident.
Yep.
You could tell you were bummed at that moment, and then you realize, like, all right, it's time to just kind of get over it.
Nothing you can do about it.
And it didn't really affect you in anything else we were doing. So
no, you just gotta again embracing.
That is a unique characteristic. That is not a normal thing that everybody does.
I think it should be normal.
Well, I know you think it should be. It is a superior way to handle it, but it's weird. I don't know. It's a thing that.
Do you think it's the sociopathic side of me?
No, I think honestly. I've thought about this. I think it's your upbringing, because I think you've seen what real shit is. So now when you make these mistakes, they're all fucking little.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in the grand scheme of things, you've seen hell basically at a young age. So when these things happen, you're like, I've seen worse. And you know what I mean?
It could always be worse, Governor.
I think so. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some positive to get out of that.
Well, yeah,
fire.
I think, and I'm not, going all I'm okay, you're okay on you, which is a book from the 70s about being okay.
Oh, well, I'm okay.
That was a big book.
Nobody's perfectly okay.
It was kind of like Dianetics, kind of had that kind of big. Dianetics was huge for a while.
But when it comes, Hubbard.
Yeah, when it comes to just life, you just got to, because I see this every day, and don't get me wrong, there are times when I'm like, I'm fucking my own worst enemy.
Sure, but that's everybody.
But if we could just wrap our heads around whatever's going on, apply it to where we're at and where we're going and what really matters. Because you know what? You're not taking any of this fucking shit with you. You're not going to be thinking about it on your deathbed. And if you are, you've done something wrong. You know, and this goes for those fucking people who chase money.
Yeah.
I got to chase money. Got to save money. Got to fucking put that money in the bank. Got to not spend that money. So I got a lot of money when I fucking die. Yeah. It's like, no, man. You got to fucking, you got to live. You got to enjoy this life.
Yep, chasing
might be the only one you get.
Money is bad. Sure, if it's not like we push money away, right? You know what I mean? If I stumbled across $10 million, yeah, it'd be life changing. But
I just hope there's not a name tag in it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, God, no, don't be somebody's money. Well, obviously it's somebody's money,
but chasing it is such a foolish task. Yeah.
I'm back.
I saw this thing. Actually, it was right before I came over here. It was really cool. The only minority that doesn't matter is the wealthy. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I like that. Yeah,
because
think about that.
It was just that juxtapose of minority. Oh, what the fuck? They are the minority.
Yeah,
think about that.
They are the minority because they're not really. The bulk of them are probably not contributing back. They're just hoarding.
They're the minority of. They are. They're 1%.
Yeah, because we make the world go round. We're the 99%.
That's right.
99. There's 99 more of us.
Yeah. No. That's
no, like I said,
embrace it.
It just fucking deal with it and move on. It's worse. Don't be all fucking cutthroat negative just because things suck.
I mean, we all let things get us down from time to time. You know what I mean? Just don't stay there.
Yeah, don't stay. Exactly.
I stay in the area of that for far too long, and I see a lot of other people around me do it. Like my friends, close friends to me, besides you, but we call you the outlier, so you are the outlier.
I'm the exception.
There's not a lot of people who operate like you do, but a lot of them, they just kind of stay in it for a while and swelter into it. Like it's almost like, in my case, it's like I'm trying to figure out the puzzle of why I'm there. So I have to stay there in order to see the puzzle.
Oh, you just hit on something.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the why.
Yeah, see, wow, there you go. So maybe I shouldn't.
I don't worry about the why.
Huh.
I mean, I don't say why a lot just because why doesn't matter. At that point,
I suppose the only thing that matters is getting the fuck out of it, right?
And plus, the thing is about why, especially when we find ourselves in our own little fucking meta pool, or pity pool, more like it, because
it's definitely that. Yeah,
is we know why.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, we fucking know why. Yeah. Because if you think about it, it's like when somebody asks you something, what's your favorite ... right? You might say, I don't know. But if you stop and what was the first fucking thought that came into your head, 9 times out of 10, boom, that's it. So when you go, why? And it's like, it's in there. It's like, I don't want to look at that answer. Like, why?
Well, it's the same with the negative. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, because the first thing that pops in your head is generally like, yeah, that's the one you need to work on.
Yeah.
Or that's the one you just need
to accept.
I accept. All right. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I usually try to move forward with stuff. So I think if more people could do that and not concentrate on the why.
Yeah, but was it always that way? Like, or did you? Because I know you brought this up numerous times. You reach this point where you realize you have fewer days in front of you than behind you.
Yeah,
and I get 52. A sense from you. You're not afraid to die. You're afraid of the means, right? You say that, but
concerned with the means.
But it's still like you strike me as somebody who really enjoys life, and you probably did not always enjoy life, but
I've always tried to enjoy life.
But until like what, the 30s, and you really started to embrace everything.
27. That was a turning point.
Jesus,
for me.
you know the exact age.
Yeah, it was when I came to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was the turning point for me. I knew that was. Well, I mean, the first turning point was when I was working for. Well, I've told you about my friends in Independence, Missouri.
Friends in quotes.
Well, they were friends.
Well, until they,
yeah.
So they wanted you to do nefarious deeds,
and I didn't want to do nefarious deeds.
Yeah. So
have I told that story? Do you want me to tell that story?
Yeah, I wouldn't use a lot of names.
No,
though, right?
I'm not using any names.
Yeah, go for it.
So, back when I lived in Independence, Missouri, I had some friends. They were the Joneses.
Okay, nice. Our fucking chat is retarded. Yeah, go.
And I would run around with my friend Steve Smith.
Steve Smith and the Joneses.
Smith, and Mike Jones.
Mike Jones, yep.
Steve and I ran on Mike's crew.
Okay. And what does that mean?
We did things.
Like stole or beat people up?
No.
Okay.
No, I never hurt anybody. That's never been my gig.
Okay.
I never do anything to anyone who does not have it coming. And there's no real gray area there. You know what I mean? But and that was always my rule.
Okay.
And so we do things. We did a lot of things here and there. I'm sure statute of limitations have ran off on a lot of it, but why be crazy? But anyway, one day I show up and my friend Steve is there with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're doing a good job remembering the names.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mike says that Steve's boss, he pays in cash every week to his crew, right? His construction crew. So Steve always goes with him because Mike will pick up the cash, right? He always pays in cash.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Steve is his bodyguard to make sure nothing happens. Well, they always get the money, and then they go over to this bar called Sloppy's.
Okay. Sloppies.
Sloppies.
Yep. Okay.
And then afterwards, what's supposed to happen is when they come out of Sloppy's, I'm supposed to smack Mike in the head with a tire checker and then take the money and rough up Steve too. Just a little, so it looks real.
What
and I'm like,
fuck?
Whoa, stop this. No, I don't want to. You're going to do it. I was really intimidated by Mike at the time.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen some of the things Mike would do from time to time. I know what he was capable of.
Sure.
And Steve as well. I knew. So I'm like, yeah, okay. This is Tuesday, and they're doing this Thursday, right? This is supposed to be happening. So I'm like, all right. So Steve and I go to a party at his ex-wife's house.
Yeah.
And Darlene.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so we get over there. It's a great party. It's her 30th birthday.
Nice.
And blah, blah, blah. Everything's going good. Wouldn't you know it, Darlene and I hit it off. It was just a connection. It was like, boom. And it was instant for both of us. Needless to say, Steve was not happy and left angrily. Well, Darlene said she'd give me a ride home the next day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, boy.
Well, needless to say, the next 2 weeks, Darlene and I were pretty much inseparable.
Nice.
Inseparable.
Yeah.
It was fun. We did all kinds of stuff, and it was a whirlwind romance. Lasted about a year. But anyway.
Holy shit. Wow. Okay.
2 weeks later, I finally get home, and has my answering machine blown up or what?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, dude.
And I'm listening, I'm like, I hear Mike's wife, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
you're doing good. Yeah.
And she's like, where the fuck have you been? And I'm like, well, Debbie, I've been. She goes, you need to get the fuck over here. All right, because fucking Mike's pissed. So I'm like, all right. So I hang up, I get over there, and Debbie opens the door and lets me in, and Steve's there, and she's like,
whoops, sorry.
And Steve's giving me that.
Yeah.
Which I think that means, I hope you don't die.
Yeah.
When you go in there. And so Mike was sick. Now Mike was a little guy.
Okay.
That's the funny thing. He wasn't really, he was about 6 inches shorter than me.
Yeah.
You know, and very light, maybe a $140, you know, but he was sick. But the fact that he was a little shorter, he always had to lift himself up.
Okay.
Right. Pillows, whatever it took.
What kind of sick was he? Like?
Well, right now he was just sick. He just had the flu.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So I go into bedroom and he's propped up on his bed, his pillows.
Yeah.
He goes, where the fuck were you? I'm like, forgot.
Nice. Yeah.
He's like, well, 2 fucking weeks? That's ridiculous, man. Mm-hmm. He goes, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, I don't know, Mike. And Mike's like, well, we're doing it this Thursday. We're doing it this fucking Thursday, and you're going to fucking be there. And I don't know what happened, but something, I just looked at Mike, and I'm like, I saw him for the first time.
Yeah.
I saw him for just a little piece of shit that he was. And I'm like, what am I afraid of? I can take this guy easily, I mean, as long as I'm not in a bag and he doesn't have a gun or a bat.
Sure.
You know, but so I said, no. He's like, what do you mean no? I said, no. I said, you want me to hurt somebody who doesn't have a gun? I don't fucking care. I said, I do. I said, because I hit him wrong. I don't want to hit him, but I do. I hit him wrong. He falls. He pops his head open or something. He dies. Dead. That's fucking murder. It's on my fucking, that's on, in my wheelhouse. Now I got to fucking go to jail. We're splitting the money 3 ways. It's going to be like 10 grand. It'll be 35, but and back then in 1982, 3, a lot of fucking money.
Sure.
But I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't know the guy. He doesn't have it coming. I'm not doing it. And so it's like, fine, whatever. Then you can't, he goes, all right, fine. Then you can't date my sister anymore. I'm like,
fuck, it's
who's
slick.
Your sister?
Yeah.
And he's like, Deborah?
Darlene.
Yeah, I'm not dating his wife.
Yeah.
Darlene, you can't. I mean, he goes, Jones. I'm like, that's your sister? He goes, yeah, you can't date her anymore. I'm like, man, you can't tell me. I just saw him for the little man he was. And I'm like, you can't tell me what to do anymore. And he goes, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you again. Blah, 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 blah. And I fucking left, and I
never saw him again.
Kind of started getting on the straight and narrow, and just didn't. Just got tired of that life, and so that's kind of when the eyes opened.
You got that kiss of death, or the kiss of what life could be if you fuck up.
Well, I knew
right on that line.
You go down that road, man. You start fucking actually hurting people who don't have it coming. That's some karmic shit, man.
Sure.
And I don't believe in fate or any of that crazy boxed in shit, but karma, that's some open ended shit that
he never fucked you, never jumped you, nothing. He just left you be. No. That guy was all talk then, huh? For the most part.
Well,
with
his crew. Situation with him and I, he knew that.
Yeah, you weren't going to put up with that shit.
At that point, kill me.
Yeah.
Or let me go.
All right, let me catch up with a little chat here. So, not only that, they'll kill you for it, Nate. That was in response to Islamophobia. Then we got S.A. John. I don't know who this is exactly. S.A. John.
Scott.
Oh yeah, he says hairy pussy. So that's how I said our chat's retarded. Not all of you, just half of you. Nate Throne says gross. John says again, I have a cool cat. That was the first thing I was thinking of because I was stroking her. Nate Throne said that this is about you. He ain't ever crossed a man that didn't deserve it. And those are lyrics from... What's that from? Why am I fucking this up? Nate, Clue me in. What's that from again? I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. What the fuck? I know that. It's from something. That's interesting, man. So that
Sorry,
was
I got
it.
a cat in here.
So how old were you at that time?
Let's see. That would have been 82. I'd have been 22, 23.
Jesus.
So that was when
82.
I started.
Wow. Okay.
And just opening my eyes, making some decisions, and making better decisions. I still had a bit of tumult to go through for a while, but then I ended up in Utah in roughly Easter of 1984, and that's kind of when I started.
I wasn't born yet. I was born a month later or 2 months later. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's when I actually started trying to put down roots, where I wasn't living with my mom. I wasn't living on my thumb. I wasn't, I was actually, that's where I met Cinda, my first wife. And I mean, of course, that was a train wreck, and I'd have to say that, that was 50-50,
Yeah, sure. So both of you were still.
Most of it was me.
Okay.
But, I started just being in a house in one place, and so that was good. So, yeah. And then in, 87, when I came here, that's when I really opened the eyes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, there.
Wow. That's interesting.
That's kind of where I learned to
embrace. I knew this story a little bit, but there's actually parts you're telling that are kind of new. So that's cool. Yeah, that's crazy. And then you see the value in roots. Where a guy like me, I don't want to put roots down at all. I actually want to do the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you've had roots all your life.
Yeah, exactly. Roots are just like that's the Garden of Eden, the safe zone.
But you know what? Quite honestly, I do recommend. I think everyone should fucking cut their roots for a little while.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how do you value them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't necessarily follow my path because I just stuck my fucking.
I couldn't if I tried. Yeah.
I put everything I could in a fucking little brown satchel and hit the road for 3 years, man.
That's fucking nuts.
Off my thumb. Yeah, just having no clue. Not alone. Not much money. Or let alone not a lot of money in my pocket. But I made it. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely made it. Yeah, you figured it out. You MacGyvered your way through life.
I did MacGyver my way
He still
through
MacGyvers his way through everything, by the way.
Well,
hey, Aaron, let's do this. Let's MacGyver something together to make that happen. Like
and Aaron will be over there sometimes. Hey, dude, you should. I got this, man. Dude, and it's like, oh man, how'd that get fucked up? I've been trying to tell you, you're fucking it up.
Well, no, because the problem is when it comes to handyman stuff, I know a very select amount of things that I've dealt with. You've dealt with hundreds more than I've ever even thought of. So when it comes to that stuff, it looks like this looks like it's not quite right, but he knows a lot more about this shit than I do. Regardless of how much I make fun of it, you're really good at thinking on your feet, more so than most. There's fight, there's flight, and there's freeze.
What was a couple of weeks ago? I forget what it was, but somebody got something, or somebody had given us something or something, and he goes, you've already MacGyvered that, haven't you? You've already figured out 10 different ways of using that, haven't you? I forget what it was, but I remember
sewing machine?
No, it was something else.
Oh, okay.
But I just remember going, I actually have. You want some help with that?
Yeah, exactly. He MacGyvered it.
Hey, I did use the sewing machine.
You did for the pants you are currently wearing.
Yes, these.
Harem pants.
These are harem pants, but these were originally big harem pants, to where if you laid them out flat, it'd be like a big flying wing.
I make fun of your harem pants, but those are the only cool pair you have.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna
and I quasi-made them.
You did. You tailored them?
I would tailored them, yes. I seamstered them. You're you're the. I'm a seamster.
You're not a seamstress. You're a seamster.
Seamster.
Use the right pronouns.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you got to admit, it's a pretty clean stitch.
It is.
The first time I've sewed in 40 years, literally. Yeah. Yes, I've sewed before, but once it's that kind of shit to a degree, it's kind of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Once you
a bike on thread.
Well, once you have that concept, now don't get me wrong, there are complexities that I know maybe 10% of sewing. I know enough to get by.
Yeah.
Almost enough to be dangerous. Well, something like that could probably be dangerous. Get my finger. Oh, my finger.
That's the best threshold of knowledge to get to, is that now I can be dangerous with this fucking thing, right? That's always the best.
I know enough to I know just enough to utilize it. I like it when danger is right across the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could take this a little further.
Mm-hmm.
Danger. Yeah. But no, I'm just happy knowing the danger is right there. If I want some danger, I just got to hop the fence.
If I see you walking around your house tearing pieces of cloth up on clothes just so you can sew them, I'm going to have an intervention.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, that's
just to use it.
That's a utility object.
Yeah.
For doing stuff. Of course, I do have some ideas for some
other things to sew and make. I like it. We had one other topic we want to get to. Mm-hmm. It just says DMT. It's not just about the drug DMT, but it's about, we talked more along the lines of an experience that you have that doesn't really make sense.
That you can't really.
Scientifically.
That, and you have a hard time. You can't really relate it.
Yep.
Relate the tale to somebody.
And it was almost like, for DMT specifically, people, if you read or see what they experience when they're on DMT, I've never done it before, but it apparently you reach a point where you like almost face like a death or something, where you're really having a negative time, and then you break through, and you have this experience of oneness with everything else. Everything's connected and whatever, and they come back when they're sober again, and they try to explain what happened, and everybody just like, I can't really explain what I saw. I can explain what I felt, which is really interesting, because at that point in time, to them, and even to when they're explaining it, the scientific facts of what you saw and all this like physical mind spectrum of trying to narrow this down and describe what you're seeing doesn't really matter. To them, I was always like, the experience, I'm telling you, it was real. Right. What I experienced, that experience was real. I can't explain it scientifically, but whatever it was, it was
kind of crazy when they talk
real.
about the beings too.
Okay, like working on machines and stuff. That's weird how everybody seems to have a similar thing.
Yeah, from the businessman to the guy in the bush. They have very, very similar. And what's crazy is they say they speak in a different language, but you understand it and you get it, but you can't. But you can't really explain that.
Yep.
You can't really talk about how, because you some of the things I've read is where you weren't really talking with my mouth. It was just a sharing and then a knowing.
Which is crazy, because there's none of that. And, when you're sober and in the physical senses that we have here.
You know what? I would disagree with you.
Like what?
There's more of that than I think than most people realize. And I say that because I think we do, and I'm being serious here. Yeah. We do it in the form of energy. The energy we project, and we do project energy. If you, I think if you're just humming along your day, and if I'm behind you and I'm just having a bad fucking day, I guarantee if you were like in a state of mind, like when I say state of mind, I mean you're not stressing about this, you're just relaxed. You would feel that. You would kind of feel that emanation, and
sure.
And I think that we we do. There is a sharing that we're almost always doing as people around me, But
you're saying outside of the regular senses, right?
Yeah. It's just that energy, because we do put out energy, Oh,
I believe that, absolutely.
And that energy can change, and I think another thing that we could tack onto that energy aspect is like, today I was talking about sound frequency. We were getting lunch.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you can have energies that have the power to cancel each other out, and I think maybe that's I think sometimes when you have like couples who get to the end of a relationship and they just aren't ready to say goodbye yet, but they're obviously, it's because I think those energies that are emanating from each other just of a particular frequency or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
To where it just cancels each other out. So now they don't hear each other anymore.
Interesting. So that's a cool way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's energy's pretty crazy shit. I wish I'd like to get into more of the Reiki philosophies, because that's some pretty crazy stuff, and it deals a lot with energy and stuff like that. And I saw this video on YouTube of this Reiki practitioner, and I don't know if this is real or not. But
sure, it's the
followed this guy over in I think it's Vietnam or one of those places over there in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
But he could project energy, not like but like he could give massages and people could feel the energy coming out of his hands, and they actually measured the energy, and he did this one thing, and they showed this on tape, and like I said,
could be
this
bullshit.
Is all derivative, right? But he takes a knife, a butter knife at the table they're at, and he's sitting there and he's he's just rubbing the knife, and while he's talking, talking, rubbing the knife, and as he's going down, next thing you know, he pulls his hands away, and the knife is now embedded in the table.
Okay, he's obviously like an illusionist, though.
Well, possibly, yeah.
Bullshit meter is off the chart right now.
No. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's false. I think it's something that I experienced. Right?
Sure.
And whether
that's true,
whether it is or it isn't, it could be.
Yeah, sure.
So at that point, that's another thing. You just embrace it.
I'd say if the experience is pretty much positive on it, does it really matter if it's true or not?
Mm-mm.
I mean, if it's not hurting anybody. I mean, if this guy's not doing this to get with women or get money, you know what I mean? Like,
no, actually,
it's not done for nefarious deeds.
He was quite the monastery type dude.
Well, see, that's cool.
Yeah,
a little celibacy and a lot of oppression and repression.
In fact, the last night they were going to do some other stuff, and then he didn't show up on this last day for filming, and they had sent a message that he had had a dream the night before, to where his sensei had come to him in a dream and admonished him for sharing the secrets that he'd shared, and said that he couldn't talk with them anymore, and so it frightened him so much he didn't go back for the interviews.
Holy shit!
Yeah. But have you heard of Reiki?
No, I don't know anything about it.
I think it's REI or RIEKE, something like that. Massage, but it's like it's energy, and I think they use stones too for like warming stones.
I have seen that before, like stones.
But the energy stuff's pretty cool, and I only talk about that because I've kind of experienced some of that. I think we've talked about that.
Sure.
With some of the salvia Natorium.
Well, it was legal then. I tried it when I was in college, but I was always fucked up on something else. But
yeah, got to try it the right way, because you try it the right way.
Yeah, you had like psychedelic experiences on it. I didn't know that.
That was the most psychedelic I'd ever had, and that was legal.
Yeah, yeah, it was like, and I remember they'd get it in like a porn shop.
Well, yeah, you get it at head shops, porn shops.
Head shops and porn shops, and it was like 52x, whatever, like really potent.
Oh, and the thing is, the stuff I did was like 15x.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But
maybe I'm getting my X's wrong or whatever, my numbers. I thought that was 52x.
They did have 50x, and they did have all these different strains, and it's like, look, you don't need that much.
Yeah. Yep.
But they were selling it as a marijuana alternative, and it's like, no, it is not a marijuana alternative.
Well, they quickly made it illegal, I think, when they figured out what it's actually doing.
Yeah, because you know what's funny though is it's not harmful.
No,
it's not harmful. It's no more harmful than marijuana.
Well, it's nowhere near as harmful as alcohol,
exactly,
or cigarettes.
But,
but
they just go on about the effects. These effects, people are in the hospital and they're getting people in the hospital because they freaked out and went to the hospital because they freaked out because they did too much, or they shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, or whatever.
Sure. When you go into something like that, be in the right frame of mind.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's not like salvia, not a party drug. Not a fucking party. And I see all these videos on the interwebs where these people are partying and they do a whole fucking bunch, and then that's usually when you see the laughers, is like when there's other substances involved, because you get the laughing and the laughing and the laughing and the loud, and then you hear that deep thing in the voice where the fear hits, and it's like even the voice is and then they're in another fucking place altogether. And it is not pleasant. It is not at all pleasant.
Yeah.
Now, there have been some really funny videos I've seen of that, though. There's this one kid, I've been trying to find the video for years, and I can't find it, but this kid, and I don't know how old he is. I'm going to assume he's 18. In a chef coat. I just got back from work, and him and his buddy have decided he's going to smoke some salvia, and then he's going to make a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, God.
And it's fucking hilarious. He's trying to make the sandwich, and pretty soon he's
starting to loop out.
Yeah, he's just gone, because the thing is, it is a complete dissociative experience.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. When you break through, you're gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the thing is, you just gotta let the good lady Salvia take you where she's going to take you, with the knowledge that she's going to bring you back. You're going to be okay.
I mean, if you're having a bad day and you're depressed, don't go do fucking salvia. Don't go do a bunch of psychedelic fucking drugs.
Don't do any fucking psychedelic drugs.
Because it feeds right off of that.
It does. It's crazy, because I've had some horrendous... Well, my first 3 trips on mushrooms were horrible. Now I've done.
Why did you keep doing it as a youngster?
I knew I could do it right sometime.
Never say die attitude. Nice.
Exactly. So
nice.
then I learned less is more.
Many aspects of life. Pretty much everything.
Grind your mushrooms up. Measure them out in 0.5 gram, and then try them by 0.5 grams and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, they don't talk to me as much.
Mm-hmm.
That's so neat. Hypothetically speaking, that is.
Because mushrooms, they have, what is it, serotonin? Do they heighten your serotonin levels and stuff?
Oh,
like a mood altering, like ecstasy or like
Molly.
a Molly or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the buzz, like acid, mushrooms, Molly, ecstasy, the buzz, it's a relative feeling, all of them. I mean,
okay, gotcha. So they all kind of do something similar. They heighten something.
Yeah, okay. And some might like. I don't know if mushrooms or acid does this, but like if you have a little chocolate, which is an MAOI inhibitor, which prevents the reuptake of the serotonin in the brain. I don't know if acid or mushrooms kind of do that same thing on their own, but
that's supposed to like lengthen your high or something, right?
Because the serotonin, that's the shit that makes you feel good.
I
feel good, and then you get that fucking endorphin rush.
Yes.
Off of all of those.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy shit. At least that's what I've read
in a book. Get that from exercise too.
The
Endorphin rush, it's weird. You can cause that in all sorts of things that don't involve drugs, but drugs make it a little more fun. Yeah. Allegedly.
And people who are already on MAOI inhibitors can experience it's a serotonin syndrome, I think they call it. Oh. But it's where you have no serotonin left for a while, and it can really make you kind of like you. Just kind of stoic and bitter.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Huh. I try. Stoic and bitter.
And bitter. There's the bitter.
Here's the stoic.
Yeah, just with anything, for God's sakes, when youngsters out there, if you're looking to experience something like this, if you're going to do it anyway, just don't do all of it for fuck's sake. And when you do it, take some time off to kind of figure out what the fuck happened.
And don't just do it 5 days in a row. Environment.
Yeah, be around people you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like
don't be around just
your circle.
Yeah, and don't get fucked up on other shit when you're doing shit like that, because that's stupid.
Yeah.
It can make for not fun. It's kind of like when you've been drinking all night and then you decide to smoke a big bowl of weed. I've read that can get you spinny.
Well,
very unpleasant.
Well, even take the weed out of it. Like, all drugs, alcohol's one of these. It works the same fucking way. If you're doing a bunch of boozing around people you don't know, you're just not feeling comfortable, and you reach that point of no return, which I've seen numerous times,
right.
Like, all of a sudden you're just having a shit fucking time, and now you've got the liquid courage to tell everybody you're not having a good time.
You're all
fucking
dicks.
And all drugs work the same way when it comes to that. Be in an area, alcohol, weed, whatever your fucking poison is, just like you said, just if it's your first time drinking,
less is more.
Less is more.
I remember the first time I actually drank. We had screwdrivers, and I'm
not
not
How
sure
old
I got
were you?
drunk. I was 17, just getting ready to go in the Army.
Wow. I figured for you it would have been much earlier.
Okay. I know, right?
Yeah.
Me too, because I didn't smoke any like illegal substances. In fact, I didn't do any illegal substances until I was 17, once I was in the Army.
Wow.
That's where I learned about Panama Red.
Okay, gotcha.
In a book. While I was in Panama.
I don't think you're going to get tried for talking about drug use when you were younger.
Panama Red
was
$25 for a quarter pound. $75 for a pound. Panama Red. Pure fucking...
And I'm sure you people meaning soldiers over there.
Being racist. You people? What do you mean, you people?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, was that? Was that Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh God.
What was the movie?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Like, what do you mean, you people? Hey, man, yo, you can't say that. You don't get to say that.
That role for him, I'm a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude. Like, it was, I can't believe he did that. I cannot believe. that is the role he played.
But that was a good role.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very. I mean, there wasn't a lot of flack, right?
Not that I know of. I don't know if he could do that nowadays, though. You know what I mean?
How crazy they did that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's playing a dude.
Yeah.
Playing another dude who just happens to be black.
Yeah.
It's like, I want. Oh,
so he did the entire commentary because that was a big thing around that time was commentary with a Blu-ray or DVD,
right?
As that character.
Really?
Yeah. I read that on Reddit. He did the entire commentary as that character.
I've never watched a commentary.
Well, listen to a commentary.
Well, watch the movie with a commentary.
How dare you?
Have you?
Stoic and bitter. Yeah. Not an entire movie, no.
I would. It'd have to be a good one. I'd have to listen. I'd have to look at like ratings and reviews and shit.
They're just not that interesting to me.
Well, I think some of them could be. Like, imagine the commentary on fucking Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. What was that movie?
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
If they did the commentary?
I'll be completely honest, I'm 10 times more interested in the new Jim Carrey than I am in the old Jim Carrey.
No.
Yeah.
That's a show in its own
We
right.
could talk about that for 4 fucking hours, but yeah.
Yeah.
It
is pretty cool what he's doing. I'd love to meet him. I'd love to hang out. Because he's that kind of guy he's probably a nodder. You guys are talking. You're blah, blah. And then at one point he just calls you on your shit.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, I don't think he wouldn't have to be zany, crazy Jim Carrey. He could be whatever the fuck he wants to be when he's talking to us.
No, I like who he is because the same thing with Brand. Russell Brand.
Oh, God. That guy, that dude's fucking smart. It would be tough for me to keep up with him.
I just don't see how that stream of consciousness, the way he gets that stuff right from his brain to his mouth, and it's like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
In fact, Mike's first experience with that was his Morning Joe thing.
That was really interesting. Because he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't give
a flying fuck. He could be on, well, that was like a high broadcast network like CBS or ABC or something,
Fox,
right?
Isn't that Fox News? Yeah, that's Fox.
Well, it's Fox, whatever. One of the big ones. Yeah, and he just said, fuck it.
Well, and then the first thing they did was like, oh, God, nice boots. Those are really nice boots.
Yeah, they didn't.
It's like, and he just puts his boots up on the fucking table.
Yep,
they're boots. I'm wearing boots. Here they are. Look at my boots. Have you seen them now? Okay. Yeah. Let's move on.
I don't know what he was expecting, though. A little that was he's probably tired of dealing with people like them.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
You know what I mean? Like, he just got tired of it.
He didn't want it to be that shallow topical shit.
But you're on fucking Fox on a morning show. What do you expect? They're going to talk about quantum physics?
Well, he did take him down a path, didn't he?
He did. He actually, it's great. In his anger and making them feel uncomfortable.
He grabbed their copy.
Well, he grabbed their copy, and he showed who they were. You know what I mean? Like, he's good about doing that. I've seen him do that numerous times where he'll
talking
say
about
a few things.
What's her name's breasts?
Oh, yeah. God. Oh, man.
You should wear more low-cut things. Those things are beautiful.
I know a lot of people, he's very polarizing, but Russell Brand, that dude's a fucking national treasure because he's very open about all the shitty things and all, because he's
very open about the shitty things he's done.
Yep. He's one of those people, I think, kind of like similar to how you deal with it. Like, he knows they're there, but he sees more shrinks and shit about it, right? He likes to talk about it as much as possible. But his thing is that bothers him the most.
So much he'll pay other people.
He's full of himself, and he hates that. And he's working on it. He doesn't want to be full of himself.
Yeah. Because
he's obsessed with talking about himself, and he comes out, he's working on it, but he's very open about it.
Did you watch his comedy special?
No, I haven't seen any of his stand-up.
Really?
None of it.
Yeah, his latest, I don't know if it's his latest, but like it was when he was doing the world tour on the Reborn or Rebirth or some shit like that.
Sure.
But it's really cool. Because it's very deep humor. And that's the kind of stuff I like. That's why I first loved Dennis Miller. Now, no, I'm not comparing Russell Brand to Dennis Miller.
No, but
I'm just talking about the complex style of humor.
Sure.
I like that. I don't want just what's black and white and red all over.
Yeah, I get it.
None with a diaper rash.
Yeah.
Or skunk with a diaper rash. None on her period. That was that one.
It's weird. With comedy, I like it either way. I'm a big fan of like the Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just the slapstick. Just, yeah.
Dude, you got to see some Marx Brothers. Night at the Opera. I'm serious.
Okay.
That's where you start.
I'll have to check that out.
Or maybe we can get in the right mood some night and watch it.
I don't know. Yeah, I get your drift. I don't know if I'd like Russell Brand's comedy. It's weird. Like, I love to hear him not constrained to a comedy bit routine.
It's not like that.
Okay,
though.
Good. All right. That's
no. It's almost
like
almost like spoken word. I mean, there's humor.
Yeah.
You know, there's levity in there, but there's also brevity.
Levity and brevity.
Levity and brevity. But he's just very deep. You know, it's like if you think about it, like no, he's not. But look, Robin Williams.
Yes.
Look at his stream of consciousness.
True.
Carlin.
Yeah.
You know, I never understood the way those guys could just bounce that stream of consciousness out of their fucking mind. Now, granted, some of it, like I'm sure, like with Carlin is as deep as he was. I don't think it was always stream of consciousness. I think those were learned bits. You know, bits.
Some of them, absolutely. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And after you know it, so then you can free range a little bit once you know it. But I think like with Russell Brand, now granted, that's probably his 15th show. You know, so he's kind of got the bits down, but still, when he's talking, it's amazing to watch him. Like, you know who another one is who's fun to watch is Henry Rollins.
Yeah, you know, he's not even a comedian. He's just a storyteller.
He's a spoken word guy, but there's always humor.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. A lot of the stuff that guy has experienced, it's tough to really explain. We got to hear more about him when he was on Rogan's podcast. At least that's where I really ran into like his backstory. I knew he was in some punk bands and stuff like Black Flag. After that, like he is not married, nothing. He has no attachment to a family of any kind. He tours nonstop. They actually had to tell him to stop touring because he was going to these cities too often. They needed him to not be there for a while and then go back.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be home. He wants to always be on the road. So he has all these fucking stories. Because when you're always on the road,
you're always going to have stories.
You're always going to have stories. And he can talk about anything. He'll take a question from the crowd and boom, talk about it for an hour.
Like Robert Smith?
Oh, Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith. Sorry.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. He's another guy. He's experienced a lot of shit. And
Kevin Smith, I think he just likes to hear himself talk. I like him. And the guy is very interesting, but I think he just
I think Henry Rollins likes to hear himself talk. I think Russell Brand, too. Right? I think that's a common trait.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong with liking to hear.
Who doesn't? I like to hear myself talk when I'm saying things that are interesting, right?
Yeah.
And those guys are like really fast about it.
I know. I'm envious.
Yeah.
I love to talk.
Well, it's crazy. Russell Brand, like his stream of consciousness is all the time. Like even when he's on podcasts that I've listened, and he has his own podcast now. And even in a book, I was listening to an audiobook, he was going through like the 12 steps of recovery or whatever in his own
little way
to get him. And wasn't even listening to
that?
It was Russell Brand Recovery.
Oh,
yeah, I listened to it because I wanted to know his.
I think I'm going to get a Russell Brand with my Audible.
There you go.
Point.
I have one. Yeah, I have one more point as well.
I might do that.
It's literally him going through the 12 steps though. This is like a self-help book, and I just wanted to listen from his point of view because he's not like he doesn't believe in like the traditional Christian God or whatever. But it was interesting to hear him basically bust himself up and all the shit he had to go through because he's been in there for a while.
Right.
Yeah, and he has like a whole online worksheet and stuff you can follow. It's like, this is really interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a book. You know how a lot of the actors are narrating like their own biographies and shit?
He was doing this one. Yeah.
I'd like to, I can't wait for them to come out with a Belushi biography and actually have him narrate it. John Belushi.
John Belushi?
Yeah.
Really?
I want him to narrate the book when it comes out.
Oh, really? And this hasn't been out yet? It's going to come out soon?
Yeah, well, they can't find him right now to narrate it.
Yeah, I know, because he's what? He's probably in a pine box, right?
Dead.
Yeah.
Or is he in an urn?
I don't know. We'd have to ask.
Oh, see, that's a fucking mystery.
John Belushi and Jim Belushi?
Jim Belushi, yep.
Jim Belushi, no, they're both dead, right? So
no, Jim Belushi's not dead.
Wait a minute.
John Belushi's dead.
John Belushi was the guy in like Animal House.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. He was the one who died back early 80s.
Long time ago, yeah.
Early 80s, late 70s or whatever, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Jim Belushi was...
Jim Belushi's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I remember.
He was in...
Real Men?
Real Men.
Real Men, yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Who are these clowns?
Who are these clowns? Those are bad clowns. Bad clowns? Yep.
That was with...
John Ritter.
John Ritter, yes.
Yeah.
I remember him.
That's a great movie.
I haven't actually seen the whole thing.
You haven't seen it, yeah.
No, I've seen a lot of the highlights for it.
Oh,
and they were funny.
That's it's dated because from the 80s.
Sure, everything from the 80s is dated.
Yeah, but Jim Belushi, he's been in a few movies. I like him. I like him in pretty much everything. He was in a movie with Willem Dafoe, Terminator 2, Kid.
Furlong.
Furlong.
Yeah.
Furlong and
Edward Furlong. Yeah. We actually saw some pictures of him today.
I'm sorry, not
He hit the H a lot.
Not Jim Belushi. I was thinking of Tom Arnold.
Oh, Tom Arnold. Yeah.
Do you know that when
Tom Arnold, I love cocaine and Roseanne and
yeah. No, he was on. He was talking about how he got the part for in T2 or not T2 in
Tom Arnold and T2.
True Lies.
True Lies. Here we're back. We fucking bookended this shit. Okay, yeah.
Where he
inadvertently bookending.
Inadvertent bookending.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Black squirrel finds a bookend.
Schwarzenegger was insistent on him being in the movie. They're like, no, he's a fucking train wreck. We don't want him. He's like, kind of pulled a Bruce Willis, where it's like, you want me to go across the street? They're like, all right, but it's on your shit, and so all that stuff about like the ice cube trays.
Yeah.
That really happened to him. When Roseanne left him, she took everything. She even took the fucking ice cube trays.
No shit. So that was
sick
real.
Bitch takes the ice cube trays.
Oh, so that was a backhanded little fucking stab to her.
Yeah.
That's funny. She's back in rotation again.
Yeah, but
she's going around.
Yeah, but
doing comedy.
How much do you really hear about her now?
Well, you don't. I mean, she's never going to be as big as she was. No. They brought that show back too, or they're bringing it back.
I think I heard they're bringing it back. Hope they don't. Please stop.
They're bringing it back. Yeah.
They were both on the roast. Didn't they roast Roseanne?
Tom Arnold was on there.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, but it was.
They're obviously getting along now.
But it was cool because there was still a little palpable tension.
Really?
In the air.
That's funny. Did she remarry?
I don't know.
Oh. You don't follow the Hollywood gossip, John?
Well, if it don't hit TMZ, it ain't real.
Oh, really? Really? That's your little Bible? Your little go-to Bible?
TMZ and CNN. What else you need?
Oh, Jesus.
No. If I'm talking that accent, it's Fox News and TMZ.
That's right. Wait a minute. You don't swear on the Bible? Huh?
You mean you don't swear on the Bible? Do we have any other topics?
No, and we should probably wrap this puppy up.
Are we topic free?
We are topic free now.
This is now a topic free zone.
Oh, we should wrap this puppy up.
Hey, who is our sponsor?
It's my turn. Oh, damn it.
You already have it? Don't you have him?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I fucked this up. Well, it's Roy Moore's Green Apples.
Yes.
And in fact, hold on a second. Let me show you.
Yeah, we actually have an image from our sponsor.
Yeah, I didn't set this up right, so hold on a second. I'm going to get rid of the crowd in the back. It's really loud. There's a crowd in the background. There's a crowd in the background. Hold on. Let me mute the crowd. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. There's a crowd. So this is Roy Moore's Green Apples. So good, you got to have them all. Not available at the Gadsden Mall. So
sorry, we can't sell them that. There was an incident, an issue, something like that. How long have we been on?
An hour and 40. This is a new record.
Holy guacamole, Batman.
Yes. So again, try Roy Moore's Green Apples. He picks them before they're ripe. So.
Oh yeah, but it's good. Still got some of that tart there, but it doesn't upset your stomach too much.
God.
It doesn't. It'll turn your stomach eventually.
We're going straight to hell.
At least if you got to see him eating them green apples. But either way, they're buy them by the bushel.
By the bushel.
The bushel.
Yeah.
Don't grab them by the pushy.
No.
Grab them by the bushel.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. We will be back, I think, next week. We're getting close to the holiday time, so I'm not sure what that's going to do with our show.
Next week, we're going to be on.
We're going to have a drunk Christmas episode.
Well, warning lights are flashing.
The warning lights are flashing?
Warning lights are flashing.
The warning lights? What warning lights?
The warning lights are flashing. At quality control, somebody threw a spanner, they threw it in a hole. There's rumors in the loading bay and anger in the town. Somebody blew the whistle, now the walls are coming down. There's banging on the switchboard. Tongues is in knots. Some come out in sympathy. Some come out in spots. Some blame the management, some the employees. Everybody knows it's the industrial disease. The caretaker was crucified for sleeping at his post. Refusing to be pacified, it's him they blame the most. The watchdog's got rabies, the foreman's got the fleas. Everyone's concerned about industrial disease.